Alrighty folks, I'm out here on my deck. My neighbor's mowing the yard, so it's a little noisy out. This morning was pretty peaceful with the birds and all this nature and stuff. But I am on my deck right now and I'm putting up my cable railing. I purchased this cable on Amazon, the whole kit and everything. It comes in sets of like 5, which, you know, my railing height is 36 and 6 inches apart. Allows me to have 5 cables running back and forth. I started it just to kind of see how it looks. I drilled all my holes the other day and stained them, and my cable's going to run through the center support post, and then it gets put in that thing, and then this crimper crimps this tube and holds that cable tight. I went with a 3/16 inch cable, and you know, it's got a long end and a short end, and the long end's got this, it's got a little baggy, but it's got this system that you can tighten it with. Not sure if it's double acting or if you just, I think it might be, because you're supposed to tighten it. Oh yeah, there you go. So it's like a barn door handle or whatever that you can latch and then turn to tighten it. But yeah, and that's going to tighten it. And I believe these nuts I can turn tight then against there, and that's what's going to hold it. The screws that came with it are like 1.5 inch flips, and they're only like that big, but I went and got these 4-inch structural lag screws, and they work pretty well. If you haven't noticed, I'm using 4x6 timbers for my railing, or my railing top is 4x6, and then my end posts are 6x6. And then my center post, my center support is a 4x6, same as the top rail. So it's pretty heavy duty, and I'm using brackets and whatnot, and it's pretty sturdy. So I wanted to have a nice top, and it kind of goes with the theme of the deck. I'm going to have later on I'm be putting up a pretty big pavilion. It's a 12x16. It's actually under my tarp. You can see the brown tarp right there. It's under that, and I've had it for a while, so I'm pretty excited to put that up. One of the things that I kind of forgot, I got excited and I was almost done with my railing when I realized I hadn't videoed, so I was just like, oh well. I got more to put up. Behind me, this whole strip going behind me is going to have railing through the pavilion post and everything. But anyways, I'm going to keep on putting this cable system up and show you what it looks like at the end. So it's going to be a lot of fast forward, so there's a lot of movement, a lot of sipping of stuff, and cool stuff happening. How about that banana tree? It's pretty cool stuff. I just like nature and nature things. It just helps you relax. Anyways, I'm gonna get to work. In another year, this banana tree, there's 2 or 3 more shoots coming up in there. small ones. But another year or so, it's gonna be growing up above this, have a nice exotic feel. But there's the cable railing. Pretty cool. Well, folks, I am getting ready to uncover this pavilion. So I'm gonna set the camera down and start unwrapping and figure out what I need to move around to be able to get stuff up to my deck. And yeah, maybe set some posts this week and finish the railing up too. So gotta get some roof screws and get some stuff prepped to be able to finish this pavilion. Hopefully by this weekend we'll have it up. My brother might come over and help me out on some of the bigger stuff, so we'll see. Fingers crossed. Alright, folks, I got all my timbers up here. So one of the things that I had to do was buy all new posts. This was a used pavilion, and all the other posts on the bottom here, it was all rotted out, and I was able to take a screw and just push it in. So instead of dealing with that, I decided I'm just gonna buy all new posts. And this pavilion was, none of it is treated. So I decided I'm gonna get treated posts, and I'm gonna get the 6x6. That's how it gets fastened. This one here is already fastened. Once I got the post in, I'm gonna put that up against and fasten it some more on all of them, just to anchor it down very well. And I'm using the 8-inch lag structural screws to hold these down. This one's fastened, the one down there is fastened, and this one here is fastened. So what I'm doing now is I am putting up the posts, making sure they're level, everything is square, and then I'm gonna try to set some beams if possible. These beams, the ones over there, those are 4x12 or 4x10, I forget. I think they were like 4x10. I'm gonna say 12 feet long, or not quite 12, they're like 11 and a half, because they kind of chink into that, or they fit into the end. So yeah, I've never put a pavilion up, or a deck for that matter. And this, you know, this whole thing was pretty challenging. I tore everything apart thinking that there's, you know, 80% chance that I can reuse 70% of the deck, but I ended up using about 20% of the deck. It was a little unfortunate, but I was prepared for it financially, so if I wouldn't have been, you know, prepared for that, I don't know, I wouldn't be getting as far along with this deck as I am, you know. So, you know, I was optimistic about being able to use most of the deck except the flooring, and I knew I was going to add structural stuff, but at the back of my mind I was like, in the case where I have to replace a lot more boards than I think I do, I should probably be prepared for that. And I was. So which you should be if you're doing, something this big. This is a big deck. It's like 560 square feet. And my house is 2,200 square feet. So it's like half of the upper half of my house, or pretty close to that. But anyways, it was a pretty big challenge. I never did anything this construction wise. I like to do a lot of DIY stuff, just because if I DIY it, most likely it's going to be a lot more quality than if I just get some IKEA junk, like furniture wise and stuff. But remodeling, anything I can do myself, I like to take on that challenge, just because I know that at the end I'm going to be the better for it. I might not always save the most money, but the experience I gain out of it, tell you what, that's what I live for, is that experience that I get out of projects like this, knowing that, wow, I was able to build that, picture it in my mind, be able to build it, not knowing that how it's going to actually be, hoping for the best, and taking a lot of advice from videos, other people, and just stuff like that. Being able to do something like this is just absolutely amazing. And I don't want to be proud upon myself, but my wife helped me a lot building this, so a big shout out to her. But yeah, it's been quite a trip. So honestly, the deck is done. There's some minor things that I'm going to do to the house yet to make it look better, and a couple things here and there. So right now we're in the pavilion phase. But yeah, I'm going to get to setting these legs, and it's going to be awesome. getting ready to put this stuff in. I got this by accident. This is inside closure, and I was supposed to get outside closure, and I wasn't really thinking about it. But I'm gonna put it right there along the edge. You can see I already put some of it in so I could finish my corners and stuff. But yeah, my corners aren't done the best. But yeah, everything is sanded. Gotta put this in and then paint. And I was able to fasten the soffit, like I said. And then the next step after painting is going to be the ceiling. You can see there's a pretty big gap up there. And I did get outside closure. Some is vented and some isn't on both sides. But it's not getting insulated, so it doesn't really matter. It's going to have plenty of air movement and whatnot going through there, even if the ends are sealed. It's looking pretty nice. My corners aren't 100% the best, but I don't do metal every day, so it's not bad for my first time, if I say so myself. But yeah, I'm gonna get busy again. There it is. All painted. So looking at this color and then this dark against that, I'm starting to think that the inside should pretty much stay the natural color. Obviously I'd still put barn siding up here, but I'm just saying, like, barn siding, that natural color for the ceiling might be pretty nice compared to this, even though that would be 3 different colors. But for the ceiling, you know, it's going to keep it nice and bright under here. But yeah, now that I have it painted, I'm going to start on this railing. I got this post, middle post here, got everything measured, marked on the other posts. I'm going to cut my top rails and then stain the ends on them, and then come up here while the stain is drying on the ends. Come up here and put the hardware on, and hopefully put the cable up yet. The cable over here didn't take very long, so I'm assuming the cable here shouldn't take long either. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to work on getting the railing put together and go from there.